Hello, hello, hello. How are you? This is Els coming to you from Bemis Crafty Corner. And this is week 4 of the Upcycle book cover. So, there's no kit for this. Everybody is doing this kind of based on their own thing. So, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you a couple of different pockets. We're going to talk a little bit about tags, and then I'm going to let you run. If you have questions, you can put them in the comment section below, or if you are fortunate enough to be watching this on the day that it releases, you can ask me questions in the live later. I've tried to film this multiple times, and the conclusion is that there's no way that I can cover everything that you would want as far as pockets and tuck spots and belly bands and tags and journal cards in one simple video. So I'm just going to kind of breeze the highlights and let you jump off from there. Okay? There's tens of thousands of videos on YouTube on how to decorate a journal. Maybe you bought a kit and that's what you're going to use, and that's fantastic. It makes life easy. Maybe you're going to do it the way that I do it and you're going to use a specific pad. That makes life easy too. So let's go ahead and hit just a few of the highlights, basic pockets and things, and then go and create. Find your joy. All right? I will be back in just a second and we'll get started. All right, let's talk about the first thing, and that is a matic pocket. You're going to do a lot of these, okay? About the only time you're not going to mat a pocket is if you're doing like a book fold pocket. But if you're doing something like this where you have decorated paper and you're going to be putting the pocket on, you're probably going to want to mat it, especially if this is paper and not cardstock. Okay? So usually you want 1/8 of an inch all the way around. So the way to get that is take your measurement minus 1/4 of an inch. So you take this measurement, take away 1/4 of an inch, you now have 1/8 of an inch top and the bottom. Take this measurement, remove 1/4 of an inch, you now have 1/8 of an inch side to side. Okay? That's it. It's your measurement minus 1/4 of an inch. If you do not have a grid ruler, this is a really good thing to do, to get if you are somebody who cannot math, fractions. It just doesn't work for you. And for a lot of people, it doesn't. So if you get one of these, you can actually see the 1/8 of an inch. So you can move it and then know your measurements. So if you have not gotten one of these, this is a good investment. This one is from Westcott. It was probably like less than $5. And I have another one over here that's actually longer. And I got this one from the Hobby Lobby from the sewing department. And this one goes up to 18 inches. So this is a really nice one to have. And it has all of your center marks. Both of these actually show you center and then how many inches out from center. So they're both really good tools to have in your craft stash. So, in your tool stash. All right. So whenever you're matting, it is whatever your measurement is minus 1/4 of an inch on both sides. So you'll take 1/4 of an inch off your width and you'll subtract 1/4 of an inch from your length. Okay? That gives you your 1/8 of an inch mat. I hope that's clear. If it's not, I apologize. I'm trying to make it as clear as I can. but it's like the biggest question I get all the time. So when you're matting this, you're going to cut this piece to fit, the outside piece to fit, and then you're going to cut the inside piece 1/4 of an inch shorter and 1/4 of an inch narrower. So let's say this is 7 inches. I'm going to cut the mat, the back piece, the backing piece, at 7 inches by whatever my width is. So we'll say 7 by 2. I'm going to cut this piece at 6 3/4 by 1 3/4. Okay? So let's talk about the next kind of pocket. So the next pocket is just, you know, a flat bottom pocket. Could you just hang up there for a second? So this is, again, it's a matted pocket, but it just goes across the bottom. Now, when you're putting this into a journal, I find that it actually works best if you leave a little bit of space in here. So let me show you this. I'm going to bring the camera down. Okay. So this is our pocket. I'm going to get rid of this because it's kind of busy. And I'm going to put this pocket towards the outside edge of the page. Bring it down. And I want you to see that I leave a gap. Okay? I leave that gap so that when I close my pages, I don't have any interference. So always leave the gap. Okay? Again, this would be a matted pocket. So I would ink it, mat it, and then put it in, and, you know, cut any finger nibs or anything like that that I want to put in there. Okay? Now the next type of pocket that you might do might be something like this, and you're going to want to cover that. Now you have an option. You can completely cover it, or you can do as I did here, and you can leave a little bit of a line around it. Okay? And this is just one of those little journal cards. I just cut it down to fit. Moving on. I'm not going to do anything to the back. I'm going to leave the back the way it is. Okay? This is a wedge pocket. To be honest with you, I just cut a circle and just wedge. Do it. Okay? I don't think about this. This is a very small corner pocket that you can use as a tuck. You can put it down here. You can put it up at the top. You can put it on the inside, wherever you want to put it. And once you glue this down, then you can put a journal card or something inside of here. So that's a very common pocket as well. Another common pocket is the across belly band. This one, this is cardstock. So I'm not gonna back this one. I'm just gonna glue the two edges down. And I like to glue about 1/4 of an inch on both sides, just for security so that it'll hold. And then the other kind of pocket you're gonna do is this kind of a pocket right here. And this is like one of your deep pockets where you're gonna be putting stuff in, okay? So those are your basic pockets. Next, we're going to talk about add-ins or tip-ins, okay? Things that you add in or tip into the book, all right? So I'll be right back. All right, so when we did a little golden book, we did a lot of where we had to adjust the page size. And so we had to do this like flip over, glue down thing. So let's say, get this out of the way. Let's say we have this paper and we really want to use this piece of paper in our signature. So this is our signature page and we want to use this, but we don't want to do this. You know, we don't want to fold it this way. We want this paper to be part of the book, but obviously it's not a signature, and if we did it this way, that would be kind of thin. Okay? So, the way we add this in is pretty much the same thing that we did with the little golden books. We would put this in the scoreboard, score it, then fold it, And then we would glue this onto an existing piece of signature paper. And we'll just glue it right along the edge here. And then it becomes part of our signature. Okay? So that's the essence of tipping in. It's adding a piece of extra paper. But what if you want to have this piece on the inside of a signature? And maybe you want to add a piece that comes out this way. You can do it. You just, again, you just glue it in where you want it, and then you would cover that with washi tape on, you know, here on the inside. Okay. So the next thing we are going to talk about is going to be, you know, adding edge work. Like maybe you want to it's very hard to do this with a punch on a single sheet of paper. So it'll be a crap piece, but you know, we're just using it for effect anyway. Let's say you want to do like one of these pockets where you have pockets on both sides. So you'd have a pocket here and a pocket here, or maybe one big pocket here and two small pockets on the inside. This is another form of tipping. Okay, this is another form of tipping in. Whenever you're folding a piece of paper over another piece of paper to create a new piece of paper, or a new space within that paper, that's basically tipping in. Okay, so let's take a look over here. So I have some envelope pieces, and let's say I want to add like a pocket, you know, that flips on one side or the other. Let's say this one, and I want to have a pocket that will flip in. You know, it'll do this. I can glue this on or use washi tape to adhere it to make this flip. We actually have a page where we left it long. Let me find that page. We left this long on purpose so that we had this flip. And if you wanted to, you could add something over this, like this. And you could put some, build two pockets here. And that's what I'm gonna show you how to do that, okay? So, that's basically, you know, the ins and outs of tipping. There's no money involved. Okay. So let's see, what other kind of pockets can we do? Because there's the wrap pockets, which is basically a tip in. You've got all of these types of pockets. Book page pockets, where you take a piece of book page and you fold it in one way or another and you add that to the page. That's a very popular way of doing it, and there are many videos on how to do that. As a matter of fact, I think I have 2 or 3 of my own. Let's see. Let's get into the little stuff, shall we? All right. So I'm going to put this to the side for a moment. So let's talk about tags. I'm going to get some tags. I'll be right back. So I keep an assortment of tags at all times. All right. First are these. These are just from scraps of file folders. Whenever I use a file folder and I have scraps, I just cut the biggest tag out of it that I can. And I try to keep my tags generally at the same width, which is about 3 inches, 2.5 to 3 inches. So I always have these on hand, and I just keep them above my desk so that I can just grab one when I want it, and I have them at different lengths. And I have this. Okay, so this is my tag box. And I have plain tags in here, and I have some printed tags in here, and I have Amy tags in here. And I have like commercial store tags in here, and I have little envelopes that tags can go in, and I have, you know, like these tag books that you can get, these tag pads. And oh, there's my collection of, I do mini tags out of the file folders as well, and there's some more regular tags. And then, you know, these are tags out of paper pads, and tags from, you know, different papers and collections and things, different shapes, just anything that you can imagine that is a tag, I keep in this box. So when I'm working on a project, I can come in here and go, I need a tag for this book. What should I use? What should I use? What should I use? And I can go through and find something that is appropriate to add. Let's see, dark botanical, huh? Okay, what do we got? Lots of flower ones here. Oh, that would be good in the dark botanicals because it's kind of dark and grungy, so we'll keep that one out. And let's see. I've got these little pockets. Oh, and that fits in there, so we'll keep that. Okay. And let's see, anything else? That's kind of a bug ticket. Maybe we'll take that. Nothing there. Okay, here's an interesting one, an inventory tag. I might want to use an inventory tag on it. Look at this little cute tag. That's a cute little tag. We'll take that one. And I may not use all of the ones that I pull, but I will have a collection of things to draw from. Okay? And tags don't have to be, you know, just square. Another great way to come up with tags is, you know, like these journaling cards. What are they called? Project something. Project Life. Well, there's Project Life tag right there. I think that'll be good as a tag. And ooh, library pockets. These make good tags. Wood tags. You might want to use some wood tags. You know, here's some flowered ones, but I don't have to keep this. I can cover this with something else, you know. Ooh, one of my favorite. Love these. Now here's just a nice black tag out of some really heavyweight cardstock. That's 7 Gypsies there. We'll pull that. And we have these. I don't remember where I got those off the top of my head, but. And then this is tags from packaging. As a matter of fact, I have another piece of this packaging. So, you know, this is some packaging that I just cut, added some paper to the back of it. Same thing with that. It was a piece of packaging, I just cut it down. Maybe you want to use a giant tag. That is a huge tag. Maybe you want to use, you know, tags that have weird things. And another thing that you're going to want to do when you're working with tags is invest in at least one tag die or tag punch. Okay? So that you always have it on hand and you can make your tags the way that you want. All right? So I'm going to get this put away. We've got a couple of things over here to start with, and I'll be right back. Okay, so you don't have a tag punch, and you're afraid to make a tag because you don't want to have it, be weird. Let me show you a trick. A couple of tricks. One, do you have a scoreboard? Because if you do, on the back of it, there's a diagonal line. You can use that to do your tags. Do you have an envelope punch board or the box punch board or any punch board? It's probably got a diagonal line on it. Just so you know. But here's a quick trick. This is what I do. I'm going to do this one at 2 3/4. This is a file folder. Okay? And I'm cutting this part. I'm cutting a line off of it. And then I'm going to cut this down, I don't know, like 3 inches or so, 2.5, 3 inches, whatever. I'm going to save that. That makes great tags. Okay. So now I have this piece. So what I do is I find the center of this piece. This is at 2 3/4. Now I know this is going to seem a little juvenile, but it's the way I do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So I want to go to 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's my mid. Then I fold this and bring my 2 points together, my 2 corners. And then I can cut. So let me grab a pair of scissors. And I just find the angle that I like. Right there. And I cut that off. And now I have a jig. These are even. One side. Two sides. These are even. This is even. And grab my ruler, I can show you that. Nice and even. And I have my points. Okay? So that's, you guys have probably seen me use this 1,000 times. Okay? So let's make some tags. All right. Probably the easiest and fastest way to make a tag is just to take a piece of paper or cardstock, round the corners on it, put a hole at the top, and boom, you have a tag. But if you want it to look more like a tag, then you're going to want to cut the tops. Now, I'm going to put this on. You're going to notice it doesn't fit. It's okay. I'm going to line up the top and the side. cut. Top and side. And cut. Okay? And now I've created a tag. And I got some gooey on my dithers. And then all I have to do is poke a hole in here, put an eyelet in it if I want to, and ink the edges. Here is a little piece of, this is out of those sheets I told you to, cut out at the beginning. So here again, all you need to do, and let's say this is my jig. It's a really big jig, but it works. It works just as well for this. Watch. Line up the side, make sure it's all the way at the top. Cut there. Turn it over. Put an eyelet in it, round the corners, I have a tag. Okay? Alright, so what about something like this? I don't want to cut this down, but I want to use it as a tag. Well, let's ink the edge. We're going to glue this down. And now I'm not even gonna bother to dock these corners. I'm just gonna go ahead and put a piece of string in there. I've got another tag. Here's another one. This one I'm gonna turn into a journaling card. Easiest, fastest way to do that. Measure it. Okay, it's just shy of 3 inches. So I'm gonna go ahead and trim it just a little bit, because I want to get it to like 2 3/4, because I want a workable size here. All right, so 2 3/4, and what's the height? Just shy of 4 inches. I can work with that. So I'm just going to get a piece of paper that this will fit on. I'm going to ink the edge. Now I do want my background paper to be light enough to draw, to color on, to write on. Otherwise, I'm going to have to put some kind of writing paper back there. Same thing with my tags. You know, I want some place on them to be able to write, and if I don't, then I'm going to have to add something to them to make a writable place. Okay, so now I have this. I'm going to take this, and I'm going to line it up on the corner here. And then I'm just going to trim this. And now I can round the corners, or, you know, use a fancy corner rounder, or whatever I want to do. Ink. And we've created a journal card. Ooh. All right, So we would want to be able to put these into pockets. You know, like this is really, you know, kind of a sweet little spot, and it would look cute with this little tag in there, and maybe a taller journal card in there as well. You have this little pocket here that you can decorate. You could put paper on the front of this and I would back this because it's very thin, but you could make another journal card here. You know, here's another tag that you can make. This is a tag that you can have. Here's a tiny, tiny little tag that you might want to, like maybe when you put this together, maybe you'll put a little pocket on the front for this to go in. And then you have this one here, and this one here I would definitely back. I would definitely back this on some regular cardstock. And this is cute as just a little tuck in that you can put into a pocket anywhere, you know, would be adorable. All right, so that's kind of it. You know, it's really hard for me to tell you what to do to decorate because it's almost as if I'm holding your hand. What I can do is offer you some advice. Pick a theme, stick with the theme. Don't try to do anything that's outside of your skill set to start with. And do not be discouraged. If something doesn't look right, this is what I have found. If I put something on a page and it doesn't look right, I tend to find that if I just keep adding to it, eventually it looks right. So that's it for this video. If you're watching this video the day that it releases, we're going to go live tonight, and I'm going to decorate my book during the live. So I'll be there to answer any questions you have. You're going to see me actually going through the process of getting the book decorated, and getting the pockets in and all of that. And I hope to see you in there. If you're watching this in the replay and you have a question, all you have to do is just put it in the comment section below, and I will be happy to answer it for you. And that's it. That's all I have. So if you're new here and you haven't done so already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button for me, like me, ring my bell, share me with all your friends, then your friends can be my friends, and my friends can be your friends, and our friends can get to be friends, and before you know it, we have a giant crafting community. I go live on Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, and Sundays at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. That is 11, 12, 1 across the country, 8 o'clock over in Hawaii. I post videos on Mondays and Wednesdays. And in 2022, I have two things going on. My 12 of 22 journal challenge. And you can get information for that by going into the description box below and clicking on the link. It'll take you to a fantastic little slideshow, give you all the information you need. And I'm also doing these free classes in 2022. If you have missed any of the classes, I encourage you to go ahead and go back and watch those. And if you want information on upcoming classes, the best way to get that is to go ahead and, when you ring that bell, select the all notifications, and that way you will know as soon as a new class video posts. Until I see you again, stay well. Bye-bye.